We're heading down to the riverside, going to walk over the bamboo bridge. Yes, after a few years they have decided to build the bamboo bridge so you can gain access across it. And we've just sneakily parked here in this old hotel here. Who's stayed in this place? It's one place we haven't stayed in. Nicely positioned, a big hotel that isn't hogging the view of these beautiful mountains like the big filthy Amarias. You know how I feel about the Amari. But yeah, just wondering what it's like. What are the rooms like? What's the prices like? It's in a great location. For those who don't know how I feel about the Amari or why I feel that way, very first time I travelled up to Vang Vieng, we turned into the street where the Sakura bar and Gary's Irish bar is, and looking down the street I was just in awe of these mountains of Vang Vieng, just right down the end of the street. But there was a construction fence up, an iron, corrugated iron construction fence with the Amari under construction. Took a couple of years to build. And what ended up happening was, looking down that street now and everybody behind the Amari, no view. Now, it is my feelings that hotels like that, why do they have to be right on the river shore? Because it's like a resort. They've got their own pool and things like that, blocking the view. Big hotels like that can get exactly the same view a couple of streets back. But what they did was destroyed a terrific view for half the town. My opinion, guys. And it hasn't changed in 9 years. Well, 10 years. It was 2014 I first came here. And the bridge a little bit higher this time. A bit of a bank on it. And as I have pointed out before, rubbish here. The epicenter of tourism in Laos, and they're not doing anything about the rubbish. Look at that, guys. Look at that. Laos can do much better than that. This water absolutely reeks. I absolutely love Laos, but that is dreadful. That's terrible. I live here. I see it every day. You know, I look past it a lot of the times, but people who travel here, tourists from all around the world, that is what they're seeing. Come on, bungers. You can do better than that. You have one of the best river views in the world. This is what it's decorated with. Okay. Wait there, let this man go first. Here you go. Next time we come here, see these little cabins there? They don't look much. We're going to try that out. Right in front of that cabin, those cabins, there's a huge pool right on the riverbank there with nothing in front of it blocking the view at all. So I'm going to find out where we can park to get down to there and check that out. As I said, we've stayed in here, the Vientiane, the Silver Naga. We haven't stayed in the interior, but we have stayed in the elephant crossing next to it. Many hotels, many hotels up here, but we just like it to be right in the middle of the town, within walking distance to everything. You know, you can go a kilometre downstream and there's still big hotels, but you need to get a tuk-tuk or have your own transport to get up here to where all the restaurants and that are. Unless you do just like staying in those resort type places with a swimming pool and checking out the view. Look at all these balloons, will ya? What is it? The balloons. Yeah. There's 5 in front of us there and the 6th one there. Vang Vieng is still the cheapest place in the world to do hot air ballooning. That has always been on your bucket list. You're in Southeast Asia. Vang Vieng. I think it's just over $100 US. We did it back in 2017. It was only $90 then. Come here and walk in and book. You're going to be paying more online. Laos is one of those countries, most of the accommodation and places and things that you do aren't online. You will be paying premium prices, booking things in advance online for accommodation and tours in Laos. Don't think you're going to miss out. Very rarely do people miss out by just not booking anything and coming here and walking in. Ringing the hotel direct in advance is not booking online to me. We were able to secure a room at the Vientiane because we just rang there the next day, the day before we travelled here. Booking through those booking places, booking.com, Agoda, you are going to be paying premium prices, and I hear it so often. Why is accommodation so expensive in Laos? I can't find any places to stay in Laos. Everything's booked in Laos. When there's still plenty of rooms to have, they're just not online. There's many hotels, guest houses and that just don't do it. You know, and once people have travelled here and realise that, they do understand that. You know, on the travel pages, backpacking in Laos, Laos backpacking, travelling in Laos, sites like that, people are asking all the time about accommodation. They can't find anything online. They want to secure tubing, they want to secure kayaks and just things like, they're not things you book online in Laos for. I used to be the same way, travelling, you know, you don't want to miss out on something, but it's different here in Laos. They're not going to let you miss out. They will accommodate you. They will rip the tube off the next track to go and buy and take you up the river by tuk-tuk, just so you can have that adventure. It was B-Mine. We rang the night before and we got into one of the best positioned hotels there is here in Laos for less than $30. Booking them online, you're going to be paying double that. Righto, how do I call the hotel? Search on Google Maps, hotels in Vang Bing, Luang Prabang, even Vientiane, and where that icon is and the name, just click on that. They'll have a contact number there. You don't have to go through these expensive booking companies. Okay, we've got ourselves a table by the river. Let's see what's cooking on the barbie. Sabadi. Menyang ba?
Nom.
Nom, boob. Nom is boob. Moo? Moo. Our song. Our Sam.
Ni abo.
Four. Moo. What do we got there? Looks like little birds. Got some chicken wings.
Chicken more? Cung cả trao luôn. Cung cả trao pha.
Mi bilao bo?
Mi. Ao ho đấy.
Yen?
Yen.
Yen. How cold are they? Oh, you nam con. Got nam con. Okay.
สอง
Start with song. Song.
เอานมก้อนบ่
Nam con doi. What would you like to drink, miss?
นี่นะลูก
For me, just nah.
มีเป๊ปซี่
It's only beer and water.
เอาอีกเดียว
Only beer and water.
นี่จะเบียร์ลูก
Our last night in Vang Vieng. Going home tomorrow. This water on the feet is good. Oh, they've heated it already. That was quick. Thank you. This chicken is so good. Are you actually on? Another thing I see on the social media pages a lot is why is Lao so expensive? Lao is one of the cheapest countries in Southeast Asia to live at the moment because of the inflation rate and how strong the Thai baht is, US dollar, Australian dollar, all other currencies are compared to the Lao kip. And it always has been a relatively cheap country in Southeast Asia to live. But on these travel group pages, these people are the people asking these questions of why are tourists being scammed in Laos. I thought it was cheap. Why is it so expensive? Vang Bing, Luang Prabang, other major tourist destinations in Laos is exactly that. They are international tourist destinations now. You cannot go to Koh Samui, Phuket and expect to get charged the same prices there in Thailand as you would up in Vientiane or some of the cheaper rural areas. Living in Laos is very cheap. You get out into the rural areas where we are, where we tend to go, we are still paying around $5 or less for a guest house. Yeah, it's just a room, but you can travel Laos very cheaply. These people who are coming here and calling being overcharged a scam, you don't even know what scam means in the first place. You're being charged more because of the services and the activities you find in that tourist destination that you're at. Get away from those tourist destinations. Get out and see the rural Laos and you will understand how cheap it is. The people who live here know exactly where to go and buy things. The people who live in these tourist destinations know what they're up for. You can still find cheap food in Luang Prabang, Vang Vieng. You just have to be able to locate it. Last night, for example, we paid 50,000 kip for a hand of small bananas. That hand of small bananas would have cost a fifth of the price at Lao Aussie market back in Vientiane. It's still less than $2.50 US, but people come to Laos expecting it to be dirt cheap in international tourist destinations. You give me one international tourist destination anywhere in the world where you're going to be charged the same price as their rural areas. It's not going to happen. You're still getting it cheap, but you're coming here and having a whinge. Another good example of what it costs you to travel or live in Laos all depends on how you eat here. If you like pizzas and foreign dishes where the ingredients have to be imported into Laos, such as cheeses, such as your cereals and things like that, pastries, it is going to cost. But if you eat like a Lao person, you can get away with it dirt cheap. A good example is when Neenee first broke her foot. each afternoon I'd go up, pick Mina up from school, and then we'd duck over to our local market, Nombatong market there. This is only 7 minutes from the centre of Vientiane, so we are pretty close to the tourist area. Each afternoon I would buy her stir-fry vegetables with some pork, 10,000 kip, which is about 48 US cents. And then I would buy Mina some fried rice, 10,000 kip again. More than enough for Mina to eat actually. So another 48 cents. And then a third, all different vendors. And this third one, I would get a chicken schnitzel that's already cut up with some fried rice. That was Sipa, 15,000 kip. So you're looking at about 70 to 73 cents. Those 3 meals filled Neenee and Mina up each night. They were getting their vegetables, they were getting their protein, they were getting good rice and carbs. Good, healthy meals for less than $1.70. 2 people, $1.70 in the middle of the biggest city in Laos, the capital. So it does all come down to where you eat, your location, and what you expect from a place. You know, you're going out to very popular restaurants and bars and in tourist destinations and things like that. Of course, the prices are going to be jacked up. That's life. That's anywhere in the world, isn't it? It is. It's not just Laos. And calling being overcharged, we'll call it overcharged compared to normal life in Laos, it is not a scam. You people need to work out what a scam is. A scam is paying for something that you do not receive. But you can still travel to these international tourist destinations in Laos and still be able to do it comfortably and not feel like you're being overcharged. And the first thing to do is do not rely on online booking. Walk in. Give the Lao people all the money. Don't give it to international corporations who run these online sites. You will be surprised. You can still go to Ulaanbaatar, walk down those little laneways and be able to get places for 150,000 kip. Now, for less than $10 a night, you can stay in Laos' largest tourist destination within walking distance to everything. Still very cheap. Righto, I've had me rant. I have. Just some people online have just got no idea. I think Laos is a cheap country. It is. And they expect to come here to its biggest tourist destinations and not even put in some homework on where to stay and just blow their money on foreign food and things like that and wonder why it's cost them. I'm still ranting, aren't I? Cheers, guys. Last night in Buggers. What are you eating, Neenee? That is a lovely khaki colour. Oh, I'm not looking at that. Is that a mushroom soup or something? Mushroom soup. What have you got over there?
There's meatball for Mina.
Mina's meatballs.
She want to...
Where's all your veggies, love? You're the protein queen, aren't ya? The protein queen. Eggs, meatballs, chicken wings. Show us your muscles. Show us your guns. You should be growing some with all that. Oh, look at that. Look at that. We are thinking on, we're leaving tomorrow, checking out. We're going to be taking the old route. Neenee said the road's been done up and it'd be good to drive through some of those old villages and stop along the way, take our time. Probably going to take us 3 to 4 hours. But it's not better than taking the freeway. From our doorstep to the Vientiane is probably about an hour and 10. If I was pushing it, and I have pushed it before, an hour, you know, sitting on 120, 130 along the freeway. The freeway, the highway, expressway, whatever you want to call it, is 120 for cars, so it's not that far over. So if you're flying into Laos, and this is another subject I've seen on the Travelling in Laos website and Laos backpackers, people wanting to come, not stay in Vientiane, come straight up here. People say, oh, go to the train station. It's quick. It is quick once you're on the train. But you can catch a van or even taxis from Wat International Airport in Vientiane. I think a taxi will get you up here into Vientiane for that same time it takes us, an hour, because we're not far from the airport. In an hour and 10 minutes, you can be off your plane and sitting in this river for, I did see one taxi quote 270,000 kip. That's less than $15 US. Or you could take the train. It's going to take you about an hour, depending on the time of day, to get from Wat International Airport over to where the train station is. And then you're going to be sitting around in the train station for an hour, 45 minutes for to board the train, then get up here. Once you're up here, you're at least 20 minutes out of town. You've got to find your way into it. Over 3 hours later, after arriving in Vientiane, or it'll take you an hour. If you really want to take the train, you've got the time. Sure, great experience. But if you're short on time and you want to know the quickest way to get up here from Vientiane to Vang Vieng from the airport, just grab a van, grab a taxi. It's not much. Be sure to note with the van that you're catching that they're actually taking the freeway. Some vans still take the old route. Also guys, just a footnote to the previous video I'd done in the best place to party in Laos. And if you're thinking on coming to Vang Bing because of the river parties, just know that not all restaurants are open. The very popular Luang Prabang cafe, where you can get great breakfast, oats and things like that, great meals, crepes, bakery is very good. We used to live there virtually. That was closed. Gary's Irish Bar was closed. The restaurant across from that. A lot of the very popular restaurants tend to close down for that New Year period. So unlike Luang Prabang, where you'll find mostly everything in that celebration area, the festival area, they're still open. It has been very quiet in town and limited to where we can get good meals at. Not saying this is a bad meal, I'm just saying the variety isn't as it normally is here in Vang Vieng because people do close down for this event. This is just up behind where we're eating. I could see it from where we're staying in the Vientiane. It's a Chinese gaming club. But that's not what caught my attention. There's a law in Laos that says any signs must have the same size, at least the same size writing. The Lao script is the foreign script. Those Chinese characters are twice the size of what the Lao characters are. Why is this so? Pretty sure that is against the law.
Golden brown, texture like sun, laid me down. My mind, she runs throughout the night. No need to fight, never a frown with golden brown. Every time, just like the last, on her ship, tied to her mast, two distant lands, takes both my hands, never a frown with golden brown. Temptress, through the ages, she's heading west. From far away, stays for a day, never a frown with golden brown.